raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Let me be the first to congratulate you on a job well done and call you a United States Marine.
There was an infuriating story last night on the CBS Evening News. The tap water at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, which trains more than 12,000 Marines every year, was toxic for decades. Now, 850 residents are suing the U.S. government because many of them have gotten sick and even died. Chemicals from a local dry cleaner seeped into Lejeune's water system for 3 decades, a period when 75,000 people lived there and 20,000 children were born. Even more shocking, the Marines discovered the water was contaminated 25 years ago, but allowed families to keep drinking it for 5 more years before shutting down the wells. Families weren't even told the drinking water was toxic until 2000. This is a travesty. People who are willing to give their lives for their country deserve better. At the very least, they should be guaranteed a certain quality of life that includes safe drinking water. That's a page from my notebook. I'm Katie Couric, CBS News.
Died October 7th, born October
Retired
6th,
drill
died
instructor
October...
Jerry Ensminger was among the first to call out the Marine Corps over toxic drinking water at Camp Lejeune, which is just down the road from the cemetery.
What killed all these children?
It falls right within that period of time when the water was contaminated.
The Department of the Navy and the United States Marine Corps did their very best to conceal the truth, but eventually that genie escaped its bottle.
The only place Willie Copeland finds peace and comfort these days is here, between the pages of his favorite book. Life has thrown a lot at him. End-stage kidney disease has stolen both his legs, much of his hands, and a lot of his dreams. It is what caused this painful damage to his body, not in combat, but through toxic water, the only water he had to drink, to bathe, and to cook with during his 2.5 years stationed at Camp Lejeune.
Burned my eyes, and it was causing my lungs. I was having trouble breathing. It would burn.
We first met the Furrow family in 2015. From tumors to thyroid disease to skin problems, Stanley has suffered nearly non-stop since being stationed at Camp Lejeune. His wife, who lived there with him, had multiple miscarriages and a stillborn baby.
The baby was just like right here in my hand. So
their son was born with a deformity to his left arm.
My name is Ray. I am a Marine Corps veteran, and in 1983, I did serve at Camp Lejeune for well over 30 days. Out of the diseases, I have been diagnosed with neurobehavioral effects. Number 16, it has to do with your nervous system, memory loss, sleep, and a host of other ailments. Also the beginning stages of dementia and Parkinson's. In 2017, I was living in Southern California with my service animal, and I stumbled upon the video by Katie Couric. I was in shock, to say the least. That started a 6-year crusade that brought me here today. At that time, I owned a sports advertising company, and I was semi-retired and putting a presence online. As you can see, I worked with high school, colleges, and universities nationwide doing all their sports publications, marketing, folders, calendars, book covers. You might have seen them in your local school when you went to school. That's me. But I shut it down. I became depressed. I started researching, and the more I learned, the more angry I got, the more sad I got. Why? Why would you do something like this? I became lost and isolated. I became sick to my stomach. I went off the grid. I packed up my truck, took my dog, and we went into the mountains. The Angeles, deep into the mountains, off the grid. No paying bills, nothing. I reflected. When this all happened, I have no clue what the two letters VA meant. By this time, we were on the road for about 6 months, going to different dog beaches and just living off the grid. And we ended up in Santa Cruz, and that's where things changed. You see the photo behind me, picture 9 a.m. in the morning, 9:15, a man down there with his dog yelling for help because the guy jumped in, 71 years old, after the dog slid in. And I just couldn't jump in there. I was so disconnected from society and people and interacting. I just couldn't do it. And that's the only regret I have. From Santa Cruz, I ended up in San Jose without my vehicle. Someone hit me. I was brought into a grant per diem program, Home First, and a young lady that was the director took my case. And that's when I ended up in the Plaza Hotel, the first recipient, for 4 months, living there by myself with Cece. And I started educating myself on the VA. Since then, I have learned how to successfully submit my own claims and win the first time around. Right now, I have a claim for compensation on an appeal in the last year with a law judge in Virginia. Also, through the Pact Act that was just recently signed for Camp Lejeune, I hired a law firm to handle that. Currently, I'm in San Francisco, California. I was awarded a benefit under education, and I'm at San Francisco Film School with about 20 other veterans. It's been a long journey, 6 years. I guess I don't do anything half-ass, but at least I know that I gave my all.
The Pact Act is a new law that expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. Part of the legislation allows military veterans and their families harmed by contaminated water at Camp Lejeune to file lawsuits against the federal government.